Welcome to the peer review portion of ZFest here. I'm super excited to have you on board. So basically what you're going to see here is pretty much exactly what the judges see. You're going to get an email and it's going to have your login and your password on it. If you ever lose your password, you can simply go to the lost password page here and you're going to enter the email address which you signed up with, your email address, and hit recover password. That'll send you a new email with your password. Then go back to the login page, of course, log in here. Once you're logged in, you should see this. If you are anywhere else, just click on film categories and you will see that there are 6 categories of films, and then there's a bunch of awards, best actor, best actress, supporting, best lighting, best kiss, best fight scene, best WTF moment. All those things are down here. So you want to do this section last, the awards section last. You want to do the genre first because you're going to want to watch all the films before you get into looking at the specific awards for those categories, for the nominations there. All right. The judges have already determined who is going to win these, but it's nice to see what you guys say as well so we can compare your results to the judges. So, and you will have to finish everything. You have to be 100% complete right here before you can submit your scores. So you want to make sure that there's a 407 questions. I'm right now, I'm 2% complete because I've answered a couple. So we're going to get back to the film categories here. 4 sections up top. I'll talk about those really quickly. Tutorial is the tutorial video you're watching now. If you ever forget something, you can come on right back to this and reference what the question might be. Over here on the left, it just tells you how many days you have left to judge, and when the end deadline hits, we will shut you off even if you aren't finished, so your scores won't count. So you want to get completely finished before the judging ends. Film categories, that's where we're at right now, the 6 main categories. The score sheet is a score sheet for any of the categories. We'll get into that from the film categories. Score summary is a summary of all the scores that you've put in so far and helps you kind of evaluate what you're submitting. And again, this is what the judges get to see, so it's pretty intense. Okay, so, and log out, of course. When you do log out, you will save your place. You won't lose anything. You'll come right back to where you were when you logged in. So, film categories. Everything gets saved when you log out, so don't worry about that. So let's start with suspense horror, just for that. You can see there are 4 films up here, suspense horror. You can turn autoplay on and it will begin to play each film. Normally I like to turn autoplay off until I get my timing down, but we do want you to watch all the films at full screen. Okay, so when you click on a film, please watch it full screen. Don't be judging on your phone. Sit down at a good laptop with a good set of speakers or headphones, and you want to give all the films your full attention. All right, that's what we ask of the judges as well. So down below, after you've watched the film, you'll see that there's a bunch of rating categories here, and this is what gives your films the points. Okay, now they are weighted, so that means if you give a 10 in directing, it's worth more than a 10 in lighting. If you get a 10 in acting, or best overall cast here, it's worth more than a 10 in cinematography. We have always based it on acting and story. Kind of evens out the playing field a little bit because a lot of people don't have all the special effects teams and the lighting crew, the gaffing trucks and all that other stuff. So it's really about acting and story, and we've always said that. We hold true to that. So when you're done, you just simply rate the film. Average, good, outstanding. If you have a question about what we're asking, like if you're new to judging, so you can say directing, well, this tells you what we're looking for in directing. The blue little help button here, that's what we're looking for in screenplay. And I think the biggest question we get on this is the X factor. What are you looking for in the X factor? Well, let's take a look here. We've written the X factor is the je ne sais quoi that you haven't been able to define in the other categories. How did the film strike you personally? Did it leave a lasting impression? Or were there any clunky or offensive moments? You can use this X factor category to give this film a bump over other films. It's like, I just really liked it. Maybe they didn't have the best lighting. I gave them a 4 for lighting or 3 for lighting, and they didn't have the best sound. But you know what? I really thought this film was amazing, so I'm going to give them a 6 or 7 in the X Factor, or 10. So whatever you want, use the full scale. Don't be afraid to give a team a 1. And don't be afraid to give a team a 10. So the more you spread out your points, the more it varies in the end as far as the structure is concerned. There's less ties. So we do like you using the full scale 1 to 10. Don't be afraid to give 1s. Don't be afraid to give 10s. All right, so if we start judging a film here, you're going to see that there's a color. It's a gray box up here at the top. Well, when you start judging it, you're going to see some, just push the radio buttons here. So I'm just going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm not going to finish, okay? I got up, I went to get a cup of coffee, I came back, I forgot what film I'm on, so I'm on the next film here. You're going to see that the film that you left is now yellow, meaning that it's incomplete, but it started. So if I click on the next film here, you see it's still white, 20 is still white, because I haven't started that one yet. When you finish a film, film 7 here, if we go to the end, and you do all the scores, and you don't have to type in a feedback, but believe it or not, you want feedback from the other teams, so start leaving feedback for them. And all these feedbacks we give to the teams at the end. One thing about feedback, don't be crazy negative. Let them know, hey, your lighting was a little weak or whatever, but use words like weak instead of like, your film sucks. You should get out of the business. Because remember, some of these guys are first-time filmmakers and some of these guys are pros. So, just leave kind of constructive feedback for them and say, you know what, your audio needs a little bit of work next time. So just be gentle, but critical. People want the feedback. So once we're done, you'll see that 7 turns green here. And then if you leave a film in the middle and you completely forgot to score it, just by accident or on purpose, you had to leave for the night, you had to go pick up your kids from school and you had to run, so boom, it tells you right away that's kind of where you left off. Once all these films are green, and once you've answered all of these categories here for Best Actor, Best Actress, Child Actor, all this stuff right here, then you will have 100% and you can submit your score. You can see I've answered a couple more questions here, 12, so I've gone up and I'm 5% complete right now. Okay. In the comedy, that's where most of the films lie. This is going to be the biggest section for you to get through right here. So again, yellow means partially finished, green means completely finished, and white means not started yet. And that's all right up here. And gray is the film you're currently selected. So in the film categories, most of them fall into comedy, so you'll probably watch that one night. Documentary, we've only got 2 this year. Drama, that's another big category there, so you might want to watch that a third night. Suspense, horror, again, there's only 6. So basically, I think you can get documentary, fantasy, sci-fi, and specialty all in one night. Comedy and drama, comedy in second night, and drama in a third night. So you should be able to do this in a weekend and or 3 nights pretty easily to get through it all. As far as the teams go, we're encouraging all of you to do this. Again, it's not required. You're not going to be disqualified if you decide not to do it, but it does help us determine, are your results close to what the judges came up with, or is it completely different? And of course, we give an award for the top 3 films that you guys choose, the peer review awards, first and second and third place for that. So there actually is an award for this. We don't give out awards for any of the actresses and stuff like that, but we want to see how your scores compare to ours. Plus, this gives you an exact replica of what the judges are seeing. So you're going to want to go through it so that you know what they're going to be looking at for next year, so you can improve your categories. And if you take a look at your nominations, you'll see how your nomination clips compare to the other films, and you'll see exactly what the judges are seeing. So, all right, so back to film categories. Again, go through the categories first. You might be able to get through one night, second night, and then the rest of these in a third night. Once you're done with those, let's take a look at fight scene. So fight scene. So when you get into the nominations now, you'll have a chance to go through the clips, and these are going to remind you of the films that you already watched. That's why you want to watch the films first. And then you're going to hit a clip. It'll begin to play. And most of these clips are under 30 seconds. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's like, oh yeah, there you go. Team 6, I believe that one's Torvald. Great wrestling scene there, fight scene there. So when you pick your favorite team, Team 6, I'm not being preferential here, that's just the first team. You can return to the film categories. You can go to lighting, Let's just pick Team 5 here for lighting. Once you've gone through all of these videos and chosen your favorite, you can actually take a look at your score summary here, and it'll show you which ones you've chosen. So we chose Team 5 for lighting, and we chose Team 6 here for best fight scene. So you'll be able to take a look at each one that you've chosen in the end, as well as taking a look at the overall rank scores here. So I'm looking at and again, this is not being preferential, I just hit whatever, but it'll rate your films and it'll calculate the scores based on the weighting system, which is 10 in directing does not equal 10, it equals more than 10. The best films will float to the top, and you'll see the number one film, that's what you've chosen as your number one. If you want to change the order of these and say, you know what, I really like these two films are my two favorite, but I really like number 2 better than number 1, then you can go and use the X factor to bump up film number 2 and bump down film number 1 slightly so that it comes in the top. And again, remember, all of your scores are added together with the other team leaders, and it's a composite score. So honestly, changing an X factor here or there will raise it in your opinion, but it won't affect the overall as much as you think it will. So but it is important that you make sure your favorite film is first and your second favorite is second, and so on and so on. Once you're done watching all the films and you're done judging, you can go to the final score summary, take a look at everything, and hit submit. You have to hit submit. If you don't hit submit, it will end up being shut off. If you're at 99%, you'll probably get a text from us saying, why didn't you complete and hit submit? You're one question away. Or if you're at 100% and we still don't have your scores, you got to hit the submit button once you're 100%. Then it locks you out of the system. You're done for good. Can't make any changes, alterations, and no second guesses. And it also sends you an email with your scores. So you want to keep that for 30 days as an offsite backup for us. So we highly recommend that you watch everything at full screen. And then we also recommend that you have a good set of speakers and or headphones. And be fair, be honest, and leave good comments for your fellow filmmakers here. That's it. We thank you so much for participating in the peer review. And if you have any questions, jump back to the tutorial. Otherwise, I'll see you guys at Best of Fest.